All right, more modern. Now, if you've been watching my content for a bit, you might see some different things. A lot going on right now, so I'll just get into it. First things first. We have our wonderful co-commentator, our local judge, and the creator of Elder Deep Fae. Yes, I'm gonna keep calling it that. I don't care what LSV says. It's Jelle.
Hello.
Um,
Yeah, it's deep fiend fairies. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not. I don't care what you say. Anyway, that's not the deck we have right now. Right now, we have me, unfortunately, playing Enduring Ideal. Uh, Enduring Ideal up on the screen right now. Epic Enchantment. It's a deck. It's an enchantment deck. It's a prison deck. My opponent, I have to give my apologies to my opponent. I forgot your name, and that's kind of the problem of recording this 6 weeks later. But uh, if you want your name on, just put it in the comments. I'll make sure to pin it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I also don't remember his name, so
Yeah.
he will just be our Owling Mine player.
So, yeah, can you tell us a little bit about what Owling Mine is trying to do? Because
Sure.
this is
Owling
pretty.
Mine, it's a little bit of a weird deck. So if you can get this Kami of
Yeah.
Crescent Moon card on the screen right now.
You keep going. I'll find it. Got it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is actually a really important part of the deck. So it tries to give both players as many cards as possible. So this one says at the beginning of each player's draw step, the player draws an additional card. So both the Owling Mine player and his opponents will draw an insane amount of cards if you get some of these cards going. And then the Owling Mine deck tries to use certain cards like I forgot what the trap card was called. Some kind of trap card, and
I think it's Room Flare Trap. Yes, it is.
probably that's the card. Together with an enchantment called Fevered Visions to deal damage to the opponent because they have too many cards. And why do they have too many cards? Well, you gave them too many cards, so it's
Yeah, kind of a risky strategy because you're giving your opponents a lot of cards.
If you give them cards, you give them interaction possibly. So in this case, first Enduring Ideal, you just give them a bunch more of enchantments, and well, I don't know what's going to happen, honestly.
A lot of lands too, which is pretty important. Now, worth mentioning, I kept an opener with a Leyline of Sanctity. Yeah, I always mix up Sanctity and Void for some reason.
Yeah, the Leyline will stop the Room Flare Trap, so some of the Owling Mine deck will not function well as the player wants it to at the moment. So I imagine the Owling Mine player hopes to just land the Fevered Visions, or maybe the Ebony Owl Netsuke. That's that's where the deck name comes from, Owling Mine.
I do
another
think
card that deals damage for two opponents for having too many cards.
I do think I saw an Ebony Owl in his hand, so I don't remember seeing one on the field, but does look like he's playing it.
So notably, this card doesn't have two targets, so this can bypass the Leyline of Sanctity that's on the table right now.
Interesting. Meanwhile, I'm just deploying a bunch of enchantments, just a bunch of things that aren't really doing much at this point. We have a Ghostly Prison and a Sphere of Safety. Just my opponent not able to attack, but Akami is not that big anyway, so not really relevant. I'm not seeing any fetches, which is relevant for the suppression field.
Any idea what's the what card was named for the Druid's Halo?
I think it was Room Flare Trap, just in case my ley line gets boomeranged.
Sure.
Uh,
Boomerang, of course, a very nice card for a deck like Owling Mine that tries to put cards in your opponent's hand anyway.
there we go.
So if they have all the cards, they might as well have the card that you just removed from the battlefield. There is the Enduring Ideal.
Enduring Ideal coming down off the Nyctos,
and it's game right away. Okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty fast game, but yeah, that's the risk when your opponent is just drawing all the cards.
Yeah.
Right, game 2, my opponent only going to 6, I'm keeping 7. So, we talked about Owling Mine and what it's trying to do. We didn't really talk about what my deck's trying to do.
Yeah, we just saw a bunch of enchantments hit the field, and then suddenly it was game over.
Yeah, my opponent saw the Enduring Ideal and realized that the game was over. Now, what my deck's trying to do is resolve Enduring Ideal, which means that I'm not casting anything for the rest of the game, but at the start of every of my turns, I just cast a copy of Enduring Ideal, which means I can play any enchantment from my deck. Usually, that ends up being... I'm drawing a blank here right now, help me. Form of the Dragon.
Form of the Dragon, right, yeah.
There we go. I become a literal 5/5 flying dragon, which... Like, who doesn't want to be a dragon, right? Who doesn't?
I would. Yeah, so Form of the Dragon is one card that can actually win the game, so that's sometimes helpful. And the Enduring Ideal is very good at not losing with the cards we just saw last game. Sphere of Safety, Goes to Prison, that prevents attacking.
Yeah.
And now the Suppression Field, that prevents any nasty activated abilities that might kill you.
Yeah.
But now Form of the Dragon actually wins the game instead of just stunning it out further.
Yeah, and these days the deck goes into more of a Solemnity style, locking you out of the game with either Phyrexian Unlife or 9 lives. Which was that again? It's a pretty recent set, right?
It is a recent set. I don't remember which one. Maybe a core set.
Yeah, it was M21. Unfortunately, I don't have the 9 lives in this version, so I'm also not playing Solemnity, so this Phyrexian Unlife is just... I don't want to die right now. It's still a...
Phyrexian Unlife sometimes very good to just give you an extra buffer for your life total. So
yeah, it's just gain at least 10 life, right? Because they have to kill you, and then you go into Unlife, and then they have to kill you again, so... also, really fun interaction with Form of the Dragon, because Form puts you back to 5 at the end of every turn, which means they have to kill you again before they can start killing you again. Which, it comes up quite a lot, actually.
Now we see basically a time walk here by the Owling Mine player.
Yeah, that exhaustion just kind of shutting everything down here.
Yeah. Possibly at a very important turn as well. Since you have the Enduring Ideal mana maybe on the table with the Lotus Bloom. Next turn there will be an additional Lotus Bloom, so if you have the Enduring Ideal, it will be cast.
Yeah, even through an exhaustion, as long as I have a land.
It will have to be countered.
Yeah. I mean, a 7 mana sorcery is a pretty good remand target, right?
Sure.
It's just 2 mana, make your opponent sack 2 Lotus Blooms. Is that a boomerang on my Lotus?
There's the boomerang. It's the boomerang.
That pisses me off a little. just
now, Lotus Bloom also a very nice remand target.
Yeah, it is.
We don't see one here, so there is 7 mana, 8 mana.
Yeah, because that Scalding Tarn isn't doing anything either. So even if he has the boomerang, he can't actually use it.
2 fetches, so he doesn't have any more usable mana. All right, there's the Enduring Ideal, and it's going to resolve.
Looks like
So
it.
what are you going to find here first?
I think this is gonna be either Greater Oromancy or just straight form of dragon. I think Oromancy. No, actually, Dovescape. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so you shut off most of your opponent's deck. Opponents can't do any non-creature spells anymore. They just get countered, and well, they get some bird tokens, but yeah, you don't really care about it. Next turn, you will grab like a Sphere of Safety, so they can't attack, or a Form of the Dragon, and you just reset your life total every turn. You don't care thanks to the fraction on life. So
yeah, and then after that, I get Overwhelming Splendor, and he can't even attack me anymore. Where is it? Overwhelming Splendor, because when you are a dragon, that means you can only be attacked by flyers, but when Overwhelming Splendor on the field, they lose flying, so it's just no attacks anymore.
Form of the Dragon, it looks like you just discarded it, so...
Oh, yeah, no.
No Form of the Dragon this game.
If I remember correctly, I'm playing 2 forms in this deck, and I'm holding the other one.
Oh, you're holding both?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a thing that happens sometimes. Now I'm playing... a one of Hall of Helios Generosity and a one of Mistveiled Plains, both allowing me to shuffle the card back into my deck.
You're hoping to draw one of those lands, which you can still use because they aren't spells.
Yeah.
You get the Form of the Dragon back in your deck, so you actually have a win con.
Yeah, exactly.
Are there any other win cons in your deck?
Not at the moment. I know in the past the deck used to play Starfield of Nyx. Personally, I'm not a fan of that, because that certainly turns on all the creature removal.
Mm-hmm.
I know more recently people have been playing an Archon. What is it called? The Archon of Sun's Grace as an alternate win condition.
Yeah, it even does something if you don't get to your Enduring Ideal just yet.
Yeah, just play it. There's the hole. So next turn, I'm going to be able to just...
Hall of Helios Generosity, able to put the Form of the Dragon on top. And, well, on top is still in the library, so good enough for Enduring Ideal. Yeah, there's the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens. Oh, yeah, I'm also playing one of... What's that thing called? Is it Assemble the Legion? The 5-mana enchantment in Boros that
makes a bunch of tokens?
Yeah. I don't think I bought it in, though. So, that's a thing. So yeah, form goes to the deck. Enduring Ideal puts it on the field.
And that's good enough.
Yeah, so that was a pretty fast game. But fortunately, we have a bonus game as well. We decided, you know what, this round is so fast. We'll just play another game. So look out for that video, and I'll see you then.